Okay, part 2 of the Vengeance era. We're just gonna jump right where we left off at December 27th. So H-Bomb is just distributing some late Christmas gifts, finally deciding to end that happy era. And then Tubbo and Rambo, they go to the apiary again, and there they find the Hound Army again. And then we have Techno makes a turtle shell helmet and names it Tommy's helmet, which is very sweet, very adorable. Then Tommy finds himself at the L'Manberg embassy again. And before we can even think about that, he goes back to Techno's cabin, nearly gets spotted by Dream, which would not do good for anyone in this situation. And then Eric sees him and doesn't pursue him. And once again, we're just like, if you're supposed to be dead, why are people like not concerned? And also, Eric has a secret chest full of discs, I guess. And he has the bow that Tommy used during the first L'Manberg War. Like, Eric, why do you own these things? And then, as a late Christmas gift, Techno gives Tommy the turtle shell helmet as well as a weight disc. They play the disc being all brotherly, play that up. And they plan to transfer the Hound Army to make it more secure because honestly, that thing is getting found all the time now. Like, why are we even pretending it doesn't exist? Then they go to the greater SMP again. Why do they keep doing this? Who knows? They see Rambu, and Rambu's like, not again, and books it out of there. And then they go to the embassy and are spotted by Connor, and again, realizes that, maybe I don't mess with these two. But, Techno, as he is, takes Connor hostage, and so Rambu, brings Tommy and Techno to Tubbo to like sort all of this out. And Tommy and Tubbo are like, they literally that Spider-Man meme, just imagine them just like staring at each other. Because Tubbo didn't know until now that Tommy was alive. What a reveal, everyone. And so Tommy finds out that Tubbo was involved in the whole Techno execution thing and is like, that was my brother, dude. Don't worry, everyone. Connor makes it out alive. Techno's like, Tommy, Tubbo's not your friend anymore. Ditch him. I hate that. But as they're trying to leave L'Manberg, Dream's like, hey, y'all, I'm back. So Dream tells Tommy that he got the cat disc again. And Tommy, being the way that he is, gets angry and is like, yo, you're manipulating me, and calls him out on it, which is like a good thing, Tommy. You finally saw it. Everyone else saw it first, but okay. He also says that he thinks Dream is afraid of him, which is like, Tommy, no, he's not afraid of you, Tommy. Honestly, you're like nothing to him. Okay, and because of that, Dream threatens Tommy. He says, like, if you don't come with me, I'll burn the discs. We all know you're not going to do that, Dream. And Techno is like, yo, dude, maybe let's not do this right now. And Dream reminds him of that favor that, like, honestly, I don't remember why he has it, but all that matters is that he has it. But Dream doesn't cash that in and just lets them go. In a weird, like, circle of events, Techno ends up showing Tommy the bow that he used to kill Tubbo, which, like, now is not the time. We that moment was gonna happen at some point, but not now. This is also the day that Carl, like, officially announces that whole village thing was the pilot episode for Tales from the SMP. December 28th, there's another gift card challenge. It's from Mr. Beast. It's $100,000 this time. Imagine having that much money. And Tubbo wins. He deserves a little something during these trying times. And, like, completely unrelated, Dream announces that the L'Manberg Festival thing isn't going to happen on the 29th anymore. It's getting moved because the next day was the 29th, and we all know that was not being prepared. December 29th. Carl has a build-off between Quackity and George that's in Boomerville, and it's to make 2020 in a nutshell. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what happened in, like, 2019, 2020, and 2021. It all blends together at this point. So, like, how? Obviously, it was a disaster, but Quackity did win. So, you know what? Good props to him. December 30th. Bad wants Eric to get some gunpowder. But you know where the gunpowder is? Haha, it's in the same room as the egg. And so they get in those purple hazmat suits. And would you look at that? The egg is even bigger. And the blood vines on it, yeah, they're back. And there's also more of them. And then they're like, oh, frick. And they get that gunpowder and they book it out of there. Also, Sam and Bad find out that the bell from Church Prime is missing. I wonder where it could be. December 31st. She builds a 2020 sign and then blows it up to celebrate the new year. I say we do that every year because as it continues, it's just getting worse, guys. Remember when we thought 2021 would be better than 2020? It's 2022 now, and it doesn't, like, everyone is like quoting that Bo Burnham thing where it's like it'll stop any minute, and it's not stopping, guys. January 1st, Rambu is just digging out a hole, and you know what? It's properly named Big Hole. Don't repeat that. It's really similar to the one literally just called The Hole near Lemon City. I don't know why we just have holes everywhere, but I guess if you just wanted to like shove someone down it. January 2nd. Alrighty, the first official episode of Tales from the SMP. It's called The Village That Went Mad. Canonically, as far as timelines go, it takes place hundreds of years before like the events of the Dream SMP, which will get into the fact that Carl is a time traveler. Okay, they're basically playing Town of Salem, and if you don't know what that is, why? But I'll slightly explain. We have 8 members: Quackity, Tubbo, Dream, George, Corpse, Laser, Punk, and Bad. They're all playing different roles, but remember, these roles that they're playing now are not connected to the characters that they play on the SMP. So there's a lot of roles in Town of Salem. We got villagers who are trying to figure out who the murderers are, the murderers who are trying to kill the villagers without getting caught, the doctor who can save a villager from like getting killed, the jester whose goal is to not get murdered or executed and to only win the game for themselves, and the investigator who can investigate any villager that they think is suspicious. There's a non-canon round and then a canon round. The non-canon one, the villagers win. Cornelius, Dream, Jimmy, who's Bad, are revealed as the murderers. Yeah, fine and dandy, but it's not canon, so push that aside. Then we got the one that does matter. The murderers and the jesters win. Jack, who is Ponk, Bob, who is Laser, are the murderers, and Robin, who is Tubbo, is the jester. And then they just split a cash prize of $1,000 as one does. Jumping back to the normal timeline, Bad and Quackity go to check on the egg, and you know what? It's the same size this time, so at least like something staying consistent. But those blood vines, yeah, they're worse. They're going to the center of the statue room, and now they're starting to cover the statues of Bad and Skeppy. And there's new flowers. They're all decorating for the festival. Yay. Also, Rambu finally realizes that his memory book is missing. Also, he does this weird thing where he refers to himself in second person, but don't worry, it's not a mental disorder. Rambu confirmed that. Then he's panicking because the book exposes him for having no backbone, and he'll be seen as a traitor. While he's frantically searching, though, he finds it in his own house, but is like, I don't know about that one. How did that get there? Also, it's heavily implied that obviously someone else took it, exposing both of his interactions with Tommy and Techno to be like, how did it move? Also, Puffy creates the superior Womanberg with Nikki, Alyssa, and some of the member siblings like Drista and Lonnie. And, of course, the pets, because they're chill. January 4th. Now Fundy and Rambu are preparing for the festival together. Tommy and Techno also commit minor terrorism, which, like, I don't think it's minor. It's still terrorism. How Tommy takes some wither skulls, and that child having wither skulls terrifies me. And obviously, there's an achievement completion for that, and so everyone freaks out, as they should. And Tommy and Techno, honestly not caring about exile anymore, go to Lemanberg again. And Fundy and Rambu are there, preparing for the festival, of course. And so they go to the podium, and Tommy and Techno threaten Rambu and Fundy with the withers. They're like, if you don't return Techno's weapons, we're gonna kill you in a video game. Rambu and Fundy are like, aye, we can take you. And so Techno spawns the wither, chases everyone across the city, and then Puns joins in. And Rambu gives Techno back his sword and his axe. And of course, the wither just completely demolishes part of Lemanberg, but Puns kills it, so yay. Fundy ends up taking the Nether Star, and so Tommy and Techno are like, hey dude, give us a star, and also, where are my discs? Fundy like relents and is like, fine, I'll give you the star, but like doesn't tell him where the discs are. But he does say that the festival is probably happening tomorrow, and he's like, person with the disc will probably show up tomorrow, so like just hang on, you know. And as they're walking back, they pass the community house, and Tommy's like, you know what, to get back at Dream, what if I just blew it up? And Techno just blatantly admits that he used to think Tommy was useless. Why would you say that? Also reveals that he has a plan to blow up L'Manberg. And Tommy's like, wait a minute, what? When Tubbo gets back at L'Manberg, he sees all the destruction that happens. And Rambu's like, hey dude, this is what happened. They talk about Techno's actions, and they reset the days since last war crime sign. And the fact that you have that says a lot about you. They also write down the laws of the land. You want to hear them? Right. We got 1, we never shoot first. 2, no armor is to be worn in L'Manberg. 3, bone zone. 4, no explosives and withers. 5, be loyal. And 6, no killing pets. Guess how many of them they break? Rambu digs down in a thunderstorm because, you know, Enderman. And he opens up his memory book to page 30. There's a single line that says, why do you not remember? And I ask myself the same question every single day. He keeps writing on it. He makes that underwater room all of obsidian, just in case. Places a sign that says, you are fine. And honestly, I've never related more. He's thinking of whether or not he like betrayed everyone. He's like, no. It's fine. I haven't betrayed anyone. Here are all the people who have helped me. Phil, Techno, Tommy, Tubbo. And then the realization that Tommy and Tubbo are on different sides finally dawns on him. And then we get the iconic line of, don't choose a side, choose people. That's going to stab him in the back later. He thinks that choosing sides just causes more problems. And you know what? It's not completely wrong. And he questions himself why Tubbo exiled Tommy. And he's like, Dream is the real enemy all along. Rambu is big-brained. He keeps monologuing about why Dream is an enemy and why alliances are a bad thing. He also says that Dream always had power over everyone on the server, and he knows that the festival isn't going to work out because Dream will find a way to ruin their plans. But then he turns to page 22 later on in the day and is like, the festival is going to go great. And then on page 1, he decides to write some because he notices that it's empty. So we got all of his alliances. Tommy, he's fine. Philza, he's chill too. Tubbo and Techno. But like he literally like tried to kill you, and I think he may have killed you multiple times. So like how? And he says that Techno is a friend of them, like Tommy and all them. So he's a friend of me. And I think in this case it should be, and you know, like the whole enemy of my enemy is my friend. No, this is the friend of my friend is my enemy. He landscapes some and then rereads his book again. And on page 18, he writes, am I being a traitor? No, I'm fine. And then Carl pops up and is like, dude, you want to see my secret library? And Rami's like, okay. So we got the books of Tales from the SMP, the Legends of Gogtopia / Just Town That Never Was, and the Village That Went Mad. And then Carl tells Rambu not to read the books placed in the item frames in front of the posters. Don't read them, Rambu. January 5th. The festival is called the Green Festival, and guys, if you were going for subtlety, you're obviously not good at it. Tubbo meets with Rambu and is like, bro, you're the epitome of rule number 5, which, if you don't remember, is be loyal. And Rambu's like, okay, are we making the right choice, though? Everyone play some games. It's going great. And then Techno shows up. Techno actually shows Phil the villager house that he built near his cabin. And then Tommy shows up. And Techno's like, hey, dude, let's start invisibility potions and let's go ruin this festival. They also pass Pandora's vault and Tommy's old home. And, like, you just wanted to hurt everyone, didn't you? Phil understands when to take a step back and doesn't continue when they, like, go off to the festival. He's like, I wasn't invited. I'm not going to show up. A man respects boundaries. Techno and Tommy, though, don't. And so they secretly arrange a meeting with Rambu because Tommy's like, I have the opportunity to kill Dream because he'll definitely just follow the no armor rule, right? No. He has his armor on when he shows up. And then he just starts building an obsidian wall around L'Manberg. Like, bro, It was like the third time this has happened. Dream's like, Tommy, you messed up. He didn't say that. But like Quackity, Tubbo, Fundy, and Romby were like, what did he do? And then Dream goes to the community house. It's destroyed. Tommy and Techno just like follow and they keep listening. And Dream's like, Tommy's the one that did it, guys. He blew up the community house. We should all go after him. And Tubbo is like, what? We don't have an affiliation with Tommy. No. We're fine. And Dream's like, nah, fam. You have one of the discs, and therefore you're responsible for Tommy. That's not how that works, Dream. Anyway, the citizens that are now part of the festival are like, oh, we should go check out what's happening. And they're like, how is this L'Manberg's fault when you were literally supposed to be making sure that Tommy, like, abided by his exile? And Dream puts on this whole display, like, a disc is not enough to leverage exile, guys. But then he asked for the disc, so, like, bro, chill, you know? And then Tommy, like an idiot, puts on his armor, which makes him visible. And Techno's like, oh, my brother's an idiot, and follows suit. Tubbo reaches into his ender chest, is about to give Dream the disc, and Tommy's like, wait, don't. And then they fight. Techno and Fundy also get into a minor scuffle, which I find funny. And Tommy lashes out and says that the discs were worth more than Tubbo ever was. Everyone stops at that one, guys. And Tommy's like, oh, sorry, Tubbo. And then Tubbo gives the Mellow High disc to Dream. And Tommy's like, I have become the person I sought to never be. And Techno offers to escape with Tommy so they can regroup. And Tommy's like, no. And he joins Tubbo's side. But that's betraying Techno. And you know it's not good to betray Techno because bad things happen if you betray Techno. Techno's like, I can do a 1v30. And Dream's like, no. Thank you, Tubbo, for the disc. You're the worst president to ever have been presidentially elected. I now have the one thing to destroy L'Manberg. He also says that Romby was the traitor and he conspired with Tommy and Techno. Guess who has a copy of the memory book, everyone? Yes, your boy Dream. It's a fake copy, though. It literally, all it has on it is a smiley face. Ow. Techno is like, yo, bro, our goals, they be aligning. How about we destroy L'Manberg together? And that's exactly what they do. January 6th, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, it's gonna go down. Tommy accidentally kills Tubbo's dog, too. I don't think it was a misclick, though. Also, this is painful, but Techno and Dream say that they're going to finish what Wilbur started. And then Techno takes Tommy's axe back. Oh, God. And Tommy realizes that he's finally, like, technically out of exile. Not really, dude, but okay. Sapnap's also not sure if he can face his best friend in battle, but, like, he is about to kill literally everyone, so I think we can fight him this one time. And Nikki, oh God, Nikki, she is like, you know what, Tommy, maybe you did destroy the community house, and maybe I shouldn't trust you. Maybe this whole war is a sham, and maybe L'Manberg sucks. And Tommy, says that he didn't do it and swears on Church Prime. And every time I hear that name, I am just violently hit with the fact that Tommy is like basically what the Dsmp version of a devout Christian is. Now, I'm going to try to wipe that mental image from your mind by saying, you know what? Tommy and Tubbo, they only have one life left. And they go to a bench near the L'Manberg embassy, as people do. And Connor shows up randomly, I guess, and hands over the house. Going back to Nikki, she decides not to fight. And yeah, Romby's also trying to be positive about both Tubbo and Tommy. And at this point, let's be honest, you cannot. Like, I love them both, but how can you hold positive opinions of them at the same time right now? Quackity talks with Tubbo privately and is like, and says, you know what, Romby's planning a bit of a betrayal right now. He wants Romby to be executed. And Tubbo is like, no. And at this point, man's standing up for himself. He's taking the reins. He's like, I can be a strong president. I can be more than Dream ever thought I could be. I'm finally going to stand up for myself. Quackity doesn't like that. Phil meets with Techno for a hot second, and Techno's like, you know what? Do I trust Dream? No. Do I want to see L'Manberg crash and burn? Yes. So we all got to side with our enemies for a hot sec. So we all got to side with our enemies for a little bit in life. Oh, and then look, it's Rombo. He's in his underwater base which again, him being like part Enderman, shouldn't he like despise that? But anyway, Dream appears in Rambu's head. Man starts monologuing. All right, Dream is about to be gaslight gatekeep girl boss right now because he is trying to use Rambu's memory loss against him and be like, you can't prove that you never burned George's house or that you helped bring Tommy to exile because you don't remember any of that. You don't remember being a good person, nor do you remember being a bad person. But most of all, you don't remember being good. And therefore, you suck. He's like, you betrayed your friends, you burned the community house, and you burned down George's house. And Rambu's like, no, I didn't do that. But sir, you have memory loss. You do not remember that. Ow. Rambu is trying to remind himself of who his friends are, and the idea of forgetting everyone I've ever loved is horrifying. He's like, oh, help them. Everything will be fine tomorrow. So he finally comes to the realization that Techno is not really his friend because Techno always kills him. That's not friendly behavior. He also blacks out after overthinking so much, and there's the Enderman noise. Everyone else is then preparing for battle. This has become too much of a common occurrence. January 6th, strap in. H-Bomb's trying to decide what side to pick. And he's like, I don't know. And so he goes to Nikki to try to sort all this out. And he's like, what was the best time on the SMP? And Nikki says the time right before the election. And H-Bomb says, I think it was the time after L'Manberg was blown up. Because the citizens, we all came together and helped build everything. And it was nice. And they're like, if we blow it up again, will everyone come back together? Let's not check. Then we got Fundy. Okay. He is like, I don't think either side is like good. So I'm upset with Wilbur because he didn't pick me as the next president. And Tommy just handed that over to Tubbo. And it's not good. And he delivers such an iconic line of that if he can't make people happy, he will make them cry. Tell me that is not some top tier villain line. Like, I don't see Fundy as a villain, but like, dang, that's a good line. Also, Fundy and Nikki still believe that Tommy blew up the community house, and like, why? Phil's also just randomly helping like Techno and Dream just like blow up L'Manberg, which like, bro, what the frick? Like, we really understand who the favorite child is now. Also, speaking of people who only have one can in life, Quackity. So like, shall he fight? Let's see. Tubbo and Tommy talk to each other on a bench once more and apologize to each other. They're like, yep, Dream, big bad. And remember Quackity? Yeah, dude's fighting for L'Manberg. Let's go. Then we got the Doomsday War. Techno shows up with the Sound Army. It's a bit earlier than expected, so everyone's promptly confused. And Tommy actually attempts to take charge, and there are 6 withers. Quackity sees that Nikki, Eric, and H-Bomb are just like not participating, is like, guys, we can do it. Nikki is not on board. Neither is H-Bomb. And then Fundy shows up and is like, yo, this destruction, pretty sweet, bro. And Techno goes to Phil's house, and there he finds Rambu's Do Not Read book, and Rambu like freaks the frick out. And then Techno's like, we're not here for you. Take the book and leave. Rambu's like, okay, I'm not going to be here anymore. And then there are redstone TNT duplicator machines. So TNT, it's everywhere. Remember those obsidian walls? They're playing a purpose. And then Tommy and Techno get into an argument. Again, everything hurts more if you imagine them as brothers. And Tommy's trying to say that the government could be fixed. And Techno's like, no. Every government is rotten. It's corrupt. And I was used by you from the start. So, gaslight gatekeep girl boss. Tommy's like, whoa, bro. You betrayed me by killing Tubbo. So, like, huh? And Techno is like, I was peer pressured. Like, bro, how were you peer pressured? You murdered him in cold blood. What happened? Techno's like, yeah. You and Wilbur, you were just sitting aside while I was doing all the heavy lifting. I risked my life to save you. This is the repay I get. Tommy's like, but what about the discs? So Techno says, you know what, bro? You just assumed I cared about the disc because you did. Don't be pushing your feelings onto me. So Nikki, like the queen she is, decides to just burn down some of the prime path. And the Landry re-quoting Eric and saying it was never meant to be. She says her final goodbye and is like, peace out, everyone. So she becomes a traitor. Also, she sees Wilbur, But like, girl doesn't know that Ghostbear exists, so she has a mental breakdown. Jack also has a one-on-one with Techno. Guess who won? Not Jack. Rambo gets real mad that Nikki like technically chose his side. He's like, they were supposed to not do it. Why'd they do that? They said they wouldn't, and they did. Which, like, I mean, technically you're right, because like they aided in the destruction, so technically they're working with Dream and Techno now. But like, you didn't have to say it. Punk is also just trying to be optimistic and is like, guys, we can rebuild the nation. That can happen. No, Punk, it can't. Also, Ghostbear sadly finds that his library has been destroyed. And Ghostbear is so sad. He's suffering the most because he wasn't like influenced by all that power and greed of L'Manberg, because he's like a new person. Then Tommy, Tubbo, and Quackity try to be like iconic and go up the obsidian grid, find Dream. And Tommy's like, Dream, you are a monster. Dream's like, okay. The story of L'Manberg may be over, but the story of Tommy Innit will live on forever. Like, dude, you can't you just deliver that line and then you book it out. Like, Tommy, I'm sorry, but like, Dream takes it again. Quackity keeps telling everyone not to trust anybody. And then Tommy, Tubbo, Quackity, and Ghostbear sing the L'Manberg national anthem one last time to just send off that fallen nation, really feel that horribleness. Rambu reflects on the war, and Ghostbear gives him some blue, and they burn it, because that's burning away the sadness. He's like, I don't want to remember anymore. I don't want to remember all this. He finds 2 unexploded blocks of TNT randomly, and he says, why do I remember this? Why do I remember TNT? Why that specifically? So the man freaks out. Ghostbear also finally admits that he does want to be resurrected. So he makes that a goal. But he's like, Dream is the only one that can do that. So, but then he's like, maybe the person who killed me can bring me back. And Tommy goes up to Tubbo and is like, Tubbo, we have to stop preparing for a war to get the disc back from Dream. At this point, Tommy, just consider them gone. It's been too long. Tubbo randomly brings up the fact when him, Quackity, Ghostbear, and Jack are at near the fountain near the L'Manberg embassy. And he just randomly brings up that he doesn't think Schlatt was that bad of a president. Like, bro, really? Also, the date for the resurrection is January 10th. Let's see if they can stick to it. Quackity meets with Rambu and Jack to convince them to work with him for his own political gain. Rambu's like, yeah, Dream's the real enemy, but that's not. And Jack says, Dream and Tommy are the exact same. They've been the cause of all my problems. Maybe I'll join you. So now, L'Manberg once again destroyed. The members are fading away. And now we got the disunion era. So yes, if you like the video, immediately goes into outro. Yeah, sure. These are a lot of fun to make. That sounded so disingenuous. Anyway, if you like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all those things that real YouTubers are supposed to say, and goodbye.